Self-made crypto millionaires are always going to be a topic of hot discussion, especially during a bull market. New people are flocking in. Everyone wants to know, how did that person do it? Was it a special indicator? Do they have insider access? Was it a shot callers group? Were they doing leverage? Most of the time, people find their own edge and go their own way. Today, I'm going to be going through this cute thread I found here, friends, because a lot of people, they're just information dumping stuff out here, and then it just dilutes you, dilutes your attention. You don't really learn anything. You just see a lot of stuff. You say, oh, that guy traded, that guy yield farmed, that guy got in early. You know, I mean, they all got in early, but that guy got in early by asking someone else. That guy was lucky. And then what do you do, man? It's hard to even get an edge. I can tell you something though. Whatever it is you're going to do, you better concentrate. Because if you become a cookie cutter, rest in peace, Big Lenny, you basically get the short end of the stick. You end up winning at nothing. Let's continue. I've met 15 plus self-made crypto millionaires. They all use different coins, but follow the same 10 rules. Most would ask $5,000 for this info. I'm giving it for free. Whoa, cars, a driveway, basketball net, grass. Whoa, there's a door. Okay. So usually these things go flash, 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 flash. Here's a Rolex watch. Here are some bitches. Here's a palm tree. It works. That's why they do it. All right. But you're getting yield farmed for attention. So what I'm going to do is just go through this. We might find some alpha, but I just want to share with you some things. There's a lot of easy ways people just deviate off the path. All right. First thing, let's continue. First post. I spent my first year on crypto on unnecessary noise, shallow advice, and things that don't work. Only after deep diving and talking to those who actually make money did I realize that completely different rules apply here. Now I'm ready to share them with you. Be careful. Cycle's not done. This guy's already making threads. Yeah? Let me tell you something. This is not even my opinion. Who made the most money in 2020 cycle? People who bought in the depression and they sold in euphoria. Everybody who took a pause in the Bitcoin halving year when they had the zombie virus. Remember when the bat had sex with the Pokeball and removed all the women's fertility rates from everybody except China and Israel? Do you remember, friends? If you paused it in the middle of the year, what would you have concluded? The wrong stuff. Because let me show you. If you go to the BTC chart, when was DeFi season, friends? It was here. DeFi season was here. Peaked here, all right? You had business PMI actually cranking. If you pause it here, what would you have seen? You would have seen people give you instructions to stuff that is topped out. But you don't know it's topped out. Because this is August. You only realize you failed by the month of May of 2021. So that's 7 months later. You realize you've been playing the wrong game. What would people have said in 2020 of August? Now, I know what they said because I was around here, friends. There were different magazines and newsletters subscribing to the hottest, newest DeFi coin. There were people talking about how to find yields, how to check code, just literally looking in totally the wrong place. It all topped out, but you had no idea. People trying to find out Telegram groups, how to get in early. Yeah. There were people as well releasing guides. What they would do is they would show people how to, if you know a website, how to check its back end to see if a farm was going to get released. So you would wait for the farm time so you could be one of the first people to join it. And why is that important? Because sometimes these yield farms, what would happen is they'd start off like 1,000 or 4,000%. And this is what happened in 2020. The teams releasing the farms, what they would do is they would join their farm like an hour before release. And then what they would say is in the Telegram, oh, sorry, there's been a bit of a delay. We're going to need about an hour. And what you don't know is they've already connected on the back end and they're farming the token. So everyone's waiting and waiting and waiting. And so people started making guides about how to like find it so you could go join the team or for some yield, right? But if you're thinking about what question to ask there, you're thinking about the wrong question. Because nowhere in any of their models did they have look for a dog coin. Look what Doge does, friends, from August of 2020. Look what it does. It's up 209x. Where was that in your DeFi yield farm guide? Nowhere. You get it? What happens is we're backwards looking, right? So something big happens, people make a guide and they go, oh, this thing is making people money. They're DeFi, they're yield farming, they're not holding, they're dumping. They're taking profits. They don't use the word dump, yeah? But you're playing the totally wrong game. So that's what's happening right now. We saw it with Pump Fund, right? What happened to all the grifters who were doing the airdrop farming? They're all gone from 2023. Happened this cycle, remember? 2023. How to game an airdrop. How to subscribe to me. I'll give you all these bots. Where'd they go? They disappeared. Then everything moved to Solana Pump Fund trash. How to trade and out-trade the other grifters. Now there's everyone circling the drain. You get it? The people who win are people who win early. They believe. But it's easier said than done, isn't it? So that's why I want to show you all of this, friends. For talking about, oh, my first year, I'm spending on unnecessary noise. Who won in 2020? The person who just held the whole cycle. If you took a snapshot at any point, you would have asked them every day, are you making money? They would have said no. Next week, are you making money? No. Next month, are you making money? No. If they listened to those voices, they would have sold the ship. They would have sold the Doge. They would have sold the gaming tokens, the NFTs, the JPEGs. You get it? So, because people have a necessity to get their dopamine hit, they'll take these snapshots and they'll check, are you making money or not? Everybody should be making money. But you got to love them because they are retardio soy boys. They end up being exit liquidity. Look at his advice. Build your environment. The people you interact with daily shape your thoughts, actions, financial outcomes. Surround yourself with Web3 earners by joining DAOs, private chats, and communities that value experience and alpha sharing. Be careful. I've seen a lot of them. A lot of it's bullshit, junk. A lot of people lose their edge, and then people make little cliques and groups. Friends, I've seen everything. Dude, do you remember Nansen? They're all checking on-chain stuff for Ethereum. Then all the junk goes to Solana Pump Fund. It's the meta change. What are you tracking now on Ethereum? Nothing. You've got to go to Pump Fund, Solana, then you got to know the LA Vape Cabal, right? And now they're just doing the grifting where they pretend to find tokens on stream, but it's preordained. The game changes so fast. It's that little dopamine fix, man. There's not enough new people coming in to play these new casino games. That's why you have to play a different game. Check this out as well. He says, so always follow trends. I mean, this is, I'm going to stop right there, bro. You are going to get, that's gold. Always follow trends. You know, always follow trends. That's why everyone's poor. You know that? Everybody follows trends. It's tough. What defines a trend, by the way? You know, go ask them. How do you define a trend? Is it price action? What is it? Is it the story appearing? Okay, story appearing where? Because there's a difference between a story appearing on a 3,000 follower Twitter account and then crypto banter. That's 1.2 million followers. What is it? What about predicting the story first? It's tough. It is tough. Always follow trends. Look, you can't just follow trends, bro. By the time you hear about the trend, it's game over. We go through so many trends. We all thought GambleFi was going to do well. SocialFi. Look what they did to Friendtech. GambleFi, SocialFi, poop. Pump Fund, dog coins, Chinese dog coins. Remember Tron? Tron had like a week of a season in 2024 last year. Everything goes up, everything goes down. Disappeared. Follow the trend. That's another way of saying buy high. Nope. Yeah. I know, man. It's hard, man. You can't, there's not, in 2017, there used to be 200 coins. Now you've got freaking 20,000 a week. You have to find the community. You have to believe that the community will get bigger. That's what you have to do. It's easier when the community is very cheap. For example, Pulse Chain, the world has priced Pulse Chain for dead. So you don't even need Pulse Chain to flip a Bitcoin or flip Ethereum. You just need it to not be dead. Asymmetric upside. Easy. Bang. Yeah, it takes a while. A long while. Yeah, it's painful. But you see the game there? If you're playing Bitcoin, now it's like, oh, I know 5 countries are going to buy you, but is there going to be 6 countries to buy you? Or is there only going to be 4 countries to buy you? You see the deviation of where the expectations can go, totally different game. It's like way worse because it gets priced in. Look what he also says here. Subscribe to Cointelegraph, The Cock, Delphi Digital. These are all rubbish, by the way. Literally no edge there. They're all backwards looking. Maybe Delphi will give you some information, but that'll be on-chain stuff out here. But that tells you nothing about the meme cult religion. Is Delphi Digital which I guess might be the best out of them. Are they writing about PulseX conference? Are they writing that Pulse Chain market cap went lower than the Ethereum treasury? Are they worrying about that? Are they worrying about how there's 170 content creators, 70 streamers, everybody's priced this thing as dead, but it's still alive? Nope. Are they writing about how 4chain gets priced as dead out there? Maybe Gravestone Emoji is going to work on it? Nope. Are they writing about PDI? Nope. Very interesting. I know it's hard, man. The game's hard, friends. It's not easy. There's a lot of coins. So you really got to believe. You got to believe in your own skill set. You got to look for network effects. You know, that's why I have my own stuff. You know, like Pulse Chain. You can go to all these other stuff, Chainlink and XRP and all these other things. But I want asymmetric. It's not so easy, right? There's a lot of coins down 99% that the market has said is dead and won't recover. And guess what? The market's going to be right in a lot of the times. Number 5, use crypto arbitrage. Crypto arbitrage is a strategy where you buy an asset cheaper on one exchange and sell it for another. This is rubbish. Okay, this is absolutely rubbish. Don't waste your time. This is arbitrage, friends, is like when you're cuck number 001, you are like literally ground zero for a cuck. The first thing they do is they mine out arbitrage. They do cross spreading between exchanges and they rely on heaps of volume. Totally waste of time. So when you even see something like that, look, it's horrible advice, but I like reading it. I'm like, cool, 2,300 people viewed that. That's rubbish. But like I said, I like it. That's the equivalent of, you know, you're a basketball player and the other person tries to kick the basketball with their feet. And you're like, oh, you haven't played this game before, have you? You see? Don't waste your time with arbitrage. Just to let you know as well, for your normie friends as well, arbitrage is a dangerous word. Scammers will use the word arbitrage because retailers love that word because arbitrage means risk-free. So, and retailers love risk-free. They love risk-free. They hate taking risks. They want something for free. So they're very easily lured to the words like arbitrage and bot trading. Oh, this is arbitrage, all rubbish. Okay, that's a one-way ticket to Rec City. Avoid scams at all costs. See, this is where it gets tough, bro. This whole thread's right so far just full of scam advice. It's hard, man. I know it's hard. One mistake can erase months of profitable work. So spotting scams is a skill. Always check contracts. Avoid unverified links. Never trust blindly. Yeah, it's true. Everything is trying to get you, friends. Use a hardware wallet. Okay? Don't click links. There's got to check 1,000 things, bro. You got to, don't open any link in your email. Don't even open any link on Google. Go to the Twitter, the official Twitters of the app. Go to their Twitter bio description and see if it's real, right? Also go to Google, type in, is this the real website? It's just, you shouldn't be venturing out there to these other websites. But, it's part of the game. Also, please, for the love of God, do not store your keys on your phone. Do not put them on your Amazon cloud. Do not put them on your Apple cloud. We've had too many people lose access because of all these things getting routed. Check out this post. Focus on one thing. Those who become truly wealthy don't spread themselves across dozens of areas, but go deep into one. Choose your niche, trading, development, NFTs, and commit. Very true. Commit to what, but? It's tough. Look, all of these different aspects, there are winners and there are losers. I can tell you now, long-term holding has the highest win rate, but also has a large drop-off, okay? But it has the highest win rate and the most amount of money. The problem is long-term holding has zero dopamine. Literally nothing. It's pain, delaying gratification, delaying dopamine forever, and then maybe you get the explosion. That's why it pays off the most. All right? It's like musical chairs. Easier said than done. If you're playing in trading and these DeFi rubbish, like yield farming games and stuff like that, you're getting a dopamine hit every day. You're ultimately going to be a sucker. So I'm not even going to tell you what to play in. You have to decide what you want to play in. I play with my Game Boy. High win rates. Long-term investing. But here's the thing, man. This is the sad part. But this is how it works. Your win rate looks like 0% when you're holding long term because you are buying from the pessimists and you are selling to the optimists. Crypto 4-year cycle gone on for a very long time. It's been like freaking pessimistic in altcoins for like 4 years, bro. Where's the optimists? Well, you're waiting and waiting and waiting. People might say, "When it's never going to come. It's never going to come." Okay, man. Maybe it never comes. Maybe it does. There's no guarantees. If there was a guarantee, you wouldn't get the massive upside. Create something of your own. If you understand the market, it's time to build a product. Even if your first project loses money, the experience you gain will make it 10 times better. I'm just going to be totally honest, man. Don't build the product. 99.9%, just don't do it. The person here is going to do it. They're going to do it on their own accord. Just don't do it. In crypto, the product, in 99.9% of cases, the product is the token. You got to think about it, friends. What was crypto invented for? To remove middlemen. So crypto lets anyone in the world make a currency. What's a currency? It's a network. So anybody in the world can make a network. It's like a book club. It's a digital city, right? So if everyone in the world, that's the biggest product of crypto. Everyone in the world, there's no more borders now. You don't need a passport. You don't need to live in the same geographical area. It's football teams all around the world, different logos. But that becomes a product itself. And people are cheering different teams. You know, that's why it gets tough. The real product of crypto is a strong community that won't leave. Look at Bitcoin. What tech does Bitcoin have? Nothing. Literally nothing. You see? That's the real product of crypto. That's what actually lasts. The stuff that doesn't last is when you just try to make an application. Now, why is that? Is it because the market's stupid? No. This is a Pokeball. The market is not stupid. The market's correct. Why? AI. As AI improves every year, when you make a product on the internet, AI can cut and paste and chop and figure out what makes your product special. So if you have a product, it's nothing without a network effect. Literally nothing. Because another company, another warehouse, another whatever it is, someone looking can just go take it. Yoink. Right? Look at Uniswap, by the way. You get it? The market's smart. It's very smart. That's why I knew the market would be smart. I just knew it would take time for me to figure it out. That's why these networks would go up and they go down. That's why, like, you look around, you're like, wait a minute. Why is Dogcoin, why is that worth more than Uniswap? Uniswap gave actual amazing technology to the whole freaking world. Network effects. The market knows Uniswap is just code. It can be open source and copy pasted everywhere. Uniswap has to work on memes, cults, religions. It has to work on making people want to be a unicorn identity. You see? The market's smart. Also, you roll this forward in 10, 20 years, everything has a 3D printer. Think about it. What good is your company that makes, a specific type of screw for a dentist chair? What good is your company when we can just 3D print it? The future of the world is about network effects. We are commoditizing these products. Everyone's getting access to the same products. You see? It's just like on the internet. Everything's got a web page, right? So is its value the web page? No. The value is the network. Do you get it? Everything's got a web page. There are websites that can do more than Amazon. Yeah, imagine you made a website. It does email. It's got a social network. It connects to crypto. You can order pizza from your website. It'll tell you funny jokes. Imagine you just kept adding features to a website. Is it going to be worth more than Amazon? No. Why? Because only you are into that. Amazon's got 400 million people connecting to it. It's all about the network. Scale through automation. Once you find the working money-making model, arbitrage, nodes, farming, you must find a way to automate it. This is rubbish as well, friends. There is no automating. So newsflash, whenever anything makes money in crypto, start counting about 20 days, it's going to be done. High yield doesn't last. Arbitrage doesn't last. Nodes doesn't last. I mean, with nodes, usually what nodes are, you pay $5,000 for a node, it starts paying you like 10% per month. So you're receiving like $500. What you don't know is the people selling you the nodes, they are actively dumping because you're giving them money. They're cashing out. They're handing you the tokens. And then everyone's getting the inflation yield, and then you're gone in a year or two. I mean, I've read in my Telegram, so many of you baby dolls as well, you did nodes in the last cycle. Nodes were very powerful. They hit a lot of retailers. They hit outside of crypto Twitter, and it was just, yeah, the same stuff. It just ends up being the same scam, bro. They just don't last. Handing out tokens doesn't work, bro. You need people to believe. And you don't want to automate anything. Automation means there's a formula. If there's a formula, it means people trust it. If people trust it, it means there's certainty. There's no money in it. You want to run to stuff where there is no formula. You want to run to stuff where no one knows what the hell's going on. They don't know how to price this thing. It's a first cycle unicorn. They've never seen anything like it. That's where the money is. That's why Bitcoin, Doge, even XRP, all these amazing things, Ethereum, everything went up so much in its first cycle. CryptoPunks, last cycle. Bored Apes. What's this JPEG? Yeah, now you know how to price these stuff. Back then, they were new. That's where you want to be gearing yourself. Learn to grow capital. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, okay, you're a boxer. Learn to punch the other guy in the head and win tournaments. Oh, you're a basketball player. Learn to shoot the ball through the basket net and never miss. Just learn to win. Ho, ho, ho. Saving up starting capital is only the first step. Without the skill to grow it, you'll stay stuck. Constantly improve. Investing, trading, staking, lending. Let's go through these, friends. Ways to make money in crypto. I'll tell you right now. Trading, this is 1% win rate. Okay, 1%. Okay, so this is rubbish. Staking is also pretty much rubbish because you're just getting inflation yield. And if the yield's very high, the thing's going to go down to zero because no one wants to own it. Lending, it's only viable to lend, I guess, supply your tokens in a bull market. And if you're lending like your stable coins and you're receiving 15%, which you will, bad news for you. You think you're amazing because you're making 15% per year. What you don't know is it's only going to last 6 months, so you only make 8%. Number one. Number two, people use your stable coins to go buy other dog poop, and they're up 800%. They're up 100 times more money than you. So this is a sucker's strategy as well. Crypto social media, you got to be building in the bear market. Here I am now. But there's a catch-22. Yeah. If you make content to grow your social media, you got to be telling the crowd what they want to hear. The crowd's full of losers. The crowd's full of people who don't know what they're doing. The crowd loves to buy high. The crowd loves to sell low. Okay? If you're curating your stuff to the crowd, you're a cuck. Just like them. You're grifting them by default. Who wins here? Only the KOL. All right, they farm your attention. Oh, sign up to Bybit leverage trading, but promise me you won't do too much leverage. Or that rubbish as well. Junk. But hey, people want to be entertained. Go look at my numbers when PI collapsed. Go look at it. Bleeding. I bled so many people. And I doubled down, tripled down. I go, oh, losers who can't predict anything, who buy the tops and sell the bottoms are unsubscribing. Good. Go truck yourself. Making me more bullish. Who does that? No one does that, friends. Go watch all the KOLs. When red candles appear, they just literally don't make videos for a week or two. They disappear. They got no conviction. Mining, absolute rubbish. What are you going to be mining, bro? Bitcoin? You're joining at the end of a Ponzi cycle asset and like, bro, you can't get a worse industry than literally Bitcoin mining. Terrible yield, oversupplied, giveaways. Most of them are scams. Friendly reminder, please, friends, do not accept any hardware ledger from any influencer or anybody. Do not accept them. There was a scam recently. Someone bought a scammer bought 100 ledgers, gave it away on Twitter, and they actually sent it to them. And all of them were compromised. So they sent them all these compromised ledgers. Whenever anybody put more than $500 into a wallet, their keys were already known and stolen by the entity that gave them the ledger. They took it out. So like within a day, they made like, whenever they started handing them out, I think like in a month, they had made like 55,000. So don't accept giveaways. That's rubbish. Gaming. I think gaming, because gaming had cycle number 1 effect back in 2020, so 2021 cycle. It's got another round to go, but we're waiting for it. Gaming is just like any other altcoin. You need the business PMI to be up higher. Airdrops and forks, absolute rubbish. Airdrop farming died in 2023. Surprise, surprise, crypto founders and devs don't give you free money at all. Okay, just literally we had people from Indian and Chinese farms, 500 people at a time, 500 accounts of one dude trying to like scam and spam all these airdrops. They get like $6 of the airdrop and they just get grifted and they just go and abuse. It just ends up being a poop fest, okay? The only airdrop and fork you should be thinking about is Pulse Chain, because the whole world says the thing is rubbish and it's been priced for dead. Next post. Build a strong network. Your connections are future partnerships, joint projects, and access to opportunities not visible in the public space. Very hard, because you only get deals if you have a big following. But the big following is not to participate in the deal, okay? The big following is so you get the deal and you dump on the followers. Look at all the biggest KOL crypto channels. That's what they do. Their product is their family friend audience. It's not family friend. Their product is just the audience. So the KOL gets the deal and they tell everybody later on. They go, oh, this thing's great. This thing's amazing. Did I tell you this thing is so going to go 100x higher? Little did you know they're already in. They got, maybe the ICO was at 1 cent for the insiders. KOL gets given at 5 cents. They're hoping it opens at 10 cents to dump on the open and whatever, okay? Look at Molestia. Even after reading this to the end, most still won't take action. I truly believe these tips can change your life. So a lot of these threads and stuff that come up, friends, really, it's tough, bro. There's a lot of coins, memes, cults, religions. No one knows what the hell's going on. And it's all in hindsight. We only look back, like, friends, no one in 2020 said, hey, let's go buy the stupid little dog coin. Friends, we literally just had DeFi season with yield. People gave a 0% chance Dojo to go up because we just saw a whole year, pretty much 2020, where people wanted DeFi, perpetuals, DEXs, yield farming, utility. What ended up happening? It died in 2021. Dog coins went up 200x. It's all about the network effect, man. Okay? It's tough, right? You might say, which network effect? Which network effect? I mean, good luck, man. Good luck. There's a lot. All I can tell you is, look, you can't go wrong buying low. You just can't. But there's a catch. 1, can't do leverage. And 2, you got to be willing for it to go to 0. No matter what you buy, if the thing's down 70%, guess what? You have to be willing that it goes down 99%. If you're not willing, one day the market will actually show that to you, yeah? And then you can't cheat on a 2x because whichever one ends up being the unicorn runner, it has to pay up for all the losses, okay? So you're looking at this game, you're like, oh, this game sounds a lot harder than what it used to be. Duh. I know. You got spot ETFs now. You got big governments in. Of course it's harder. We are working 10 times longer for like a third of the gains now. It's true. That's just what happens. It's still better than the stock market. Okay. So with all these principles, you do make it. Remember, it just comes down to one thing, friends. You buy low, you sell high, you keep your elbows pointy, you keep your posture straight, like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.